after police say a former Doge employee was brutally beaten in the nation's capital.
Truly unbelievable. Lucas Thomason joins us live in Washington. Lucas, these type of attacks have been happening for years now.
They sure have, Lawrence. Good morning also to Ainsley and Griff. For those eating breakfast, the image that we just showed you and we're about to show you again is tough to watch. The 19-year-old former Doge staffer known as Big Balls was beaten by a violent mob of minors in the nation's capital in a popular part of town, according to police. A 15-year-old man and a 15-year-old woman were arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking. The attack prompted President Trump to post, "Crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs." Trump warned if crime is not dealt with properly, he may be forced to take over.
Somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
This summer, Edward Corstein, the former Doge lieutenant known as Big Ball, spoke to our own Jesse Waters. Elon Musk reacting to the attack on his platform X, saying, quote, "A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. It's time to federalize D.C. Here's a look at those recent attacks this summer. Back in May, a House staffer was the victim of an armed carjacking in the Navy Yard next to Nats Park. In July last month, a congressional intern was murdered in a crossfire from a drive-by shooting. And now, Big Balls left bloodied after this attack. President Trump says he wants gang members over the age of 14 to be prosecuted as adults, guys.
Did the people who allegedly attacked him, did they know that he was a part of Doge, or was it just because he was trying to help the lady that was being attacked?
The latter, Ainsley. It appears this attack happened about 3 a.m. on Sunday, early morning. It happened on 14th Street, just north of Le Diplomat, other popular restaurants in Washington. It's probably one of the most popular parts of town, Ainsley. It appears to be because Mr. Corstein stepped in to try to save this woman from being carjacked, which he was successful in that endeavor. He was attacked for stepping in. He did also save his girlfriend, who he put in his car before stepping in.
Wow. Y'all be careful in D.C. Griff lives there, too.
Yeah, Lucas, thank you very much. And to Lucas's point, this happened in Logan Circle, very popular area. And Ed Corstein, also known as Big Balls, really stepping in to stop that carjacking. Look, I've lived in D.C. for 35 years. And while the crime data is trending down right now overall, we do have a serious problem with juveniles because they're getting out. They know they won't be held responsible. That's why President Trump is sounding off on it. And, this is yet another example of what is wrong about D.C. Pressure now on Mayor Bowser will be to try and prosecute these juveniles who are under 18 to stop committing these crimes.
It's a huge problem. It's not just the carjackings. It's not just the assaults on people. It's not just the armed robberies there. But there's an enforcement problem, and you can't have law enforcement that are activists. They got to be able to do their job. Look, I spent some of my career working in juvenile court. I have a passion for the young people and turning their lives around. But one thing I found when I did work there is that there has to be consequence, or they continue to repeat. And we finally got some hope in New York City, Ainsley, but it looks like if they elect the next mayor, things could change.
Now, Eric Adams doesn't do everything perfectly, but he was a mayor that came in and he used to be a law enforcement officer. So now he's the current mayor. He's running as an independent, and he's running against Zohran Mamdani, who in the past has said he wants to defund police, but he's attempting to pivot from that. He was commenting yesterday. We're going to play that soundbite in just a minute after we show you these stats, because it looks like under Eric Adams and our police commissioner, the crime in New York City is down almost 5% from where it was last year. Look at the murder numbers are down almost 26%, robbery down almost 12%, felony assault down 1.4%, burglary almost 4%, auto theft almost 4%, and transit crime 2%, shooting incidents down 21%.
You got to give credit where it's due, because as someone that is a part of law enforcement and talk with sources all the time, there was a question mark by Eric Adams' name, because although he was a cop, he was critical of cops in the past. But But if you talk to cops today, they say he's been one of the most pro-law enforcement cops they've seen in the last decade in New York City. And the proof is in the pudding. And I believe that the numbers would be down even more if you had DAs within the city that would be just as aggressive as the cops. So the cops are doing their job arresting these people, but a lot of these DAs are letting them back on the street. But even with the enforcement, you see the numbers going down.
Yeah, and Griff, it's very rich that Mom Donnie goes to this event yesterday talking at the NYPD, right, or with the NYPD.
Well, he has to recognize the numbers. Here's what he said.
Hey, Mike, check out this time-space wormhole I created.
How's it work?
Let me see your togo and I'll show you.